Okay, so at the risk of humiliating myself on the internet, I'm just going to ask this question and put myself out there. So last night I got dumped, which is fine. We had a cool run. I'm grateful for what happened. I'm not here to seek sympathy for that. But when we broke up, verbatim, it went exactly the same as my last two, which is them essentially telling me that everything is going really well. I've treated them incredibly. I'm very emotionally available. Communication is great. We get along great. Dates have been fun. They're very mentally attracted to me, and they have no doubt I would be a good partner. But the catch is that they are not physically attracted to me. And then both times I've asked, well, what is it that you're not attracted to? Because if there's something glaring that I need to address, then like I should definitely want to be aware of that. Like, do I have bad breath? Do I need to lose more weight? And they said no, like they can't put a finger on it. It's more of a vibe thing. So I come here today more as a last resort because this has just been a pattern where I haven't really gotten a clear answer, and the internet is brutally honest. So I just want to know, what am I doing wrong? Is there something about myself physically that I need to address, or is this more of an emotional thing? And is this something that like no one has the heart to tell me that I'm just not aware of right now? I'm not here to seek sympathy. I just really like genuinely want to know like what am I doing wrong, or is there something like I need to consider like about myself?
Society has lied to this young man. Hello, my friends, and welcome back to another session with the older man. So we're going to dive into this gentleman's problem. And listen, man, you know, when you ladies come at me with, oh, you're just misogynist and you're just putting down women, and I'm sticking to my guns, because the proof is in the pudding when we men are telling men, especially in the so-called red pill space. As far as I'm concerned, it's just good male advice space where we are bucking against the whole feminist gynocentric push to emasculate men. That's technically what the red pill is. My father been telling me not to do things like this, what they have done to this young man, way before the word red pill came into existence. So this young man has fell for the narrative that, you got to be good to women, you got to treat them well, you got to get in touch with your emotions, you have to be. I freaking grew up with that crap. You don't need muscles, you just need to be sensitive to women's feelings. That's the results that you're going to get, gentlemen, every single time.
This is why nice guys finish last. Men, we women, of course we like nice guys. It's not the niceness that's the problem. It's when the niceness desexualizes you, that's when it's a problem. A lot of nice guys tend to compromise on their masculinity by trying to be too nice. And then they turn around and blame not being able to be successful with women on being too nice. If you're a man who's nice and you still have your masculine traits, so this means you're a leader, you're not a people pleaser, you take risks, you go after what you want, you will be very successful with women, including the ones that you are really, really attracted to. Masculine traits are the most important factors of attention for a man. So be a good guy, be a nice guy, but don't give up your masculinity for it.
I'm torn between, listen, him disclosing this information, right? Putting his heart out there, something else that he's been told, right? Because we've been told to stay stoic, keep your emotions in check. So there's a lot of men that are not as vulnerable as he is, or putting his emotions out there. So I'm happy that he's doing it for us to break it down, for us in this red pill space to show other men what not to do. Because gentlemen, men like this do not get results from women. Yet the women and the gynocentric push towards womanizing men have told him those are the best traits that men should have. But yet he's not getting the results. This is the freaking problem. Never listen to what women tell you. Watch what they respond to. Players way back, pimps way back in the day were telling you this. Men who understood female nature were telling you that. Don't listen to the woman. Don't listen to the woman. Do what you're supposed to do, boss. That's what I was told. But of course, I had a mother who told me, no, you got to be nice to women and, you got to be good. You got 5 sisters. You got to be good to them. You got to make sure that you take care of your wife, and you got to make sure you make sure that you take care. And you grow up with this narrative. So what do we have in this man? Let's just break it down. Number 1, this man has never touched a weight in his life. So he's going to suffer from low testosterone levels. There's nothing really masculine about him. There's no real grooming. He's just blah. He's just growing. There's no fashion sense. What kind of shirt is that? I wouldn't wear that shirt out in public. Out in public meaning online, which is as public as it gets. Man, he almost looked like he's crying for help. So my advice, man, is simply get to the freaking gym, dude. You need to get your testosterone levels up. Woo! So before we go on, listen, subscribe. Hey, book a session with the older man if you're having problems like this young man. I'll tell you exactly what you need to do. It's not rocket science. But unfortunately, the programming is deep for a lot of you men. Don't let them bullshit you about, oh, you just misogynist. You want to go to the gym and get muscles and you just want to act like a man and you want... No. Do it. Do exactly what they're telling you not to do. Do it. Be a man. Be stoic. Control your emotions. Get in the freaking gym. Focus on muscle building. Testosterone building. Get your fashion in order. Start hanging out with like-minded men, other men who are powerful, who are strong, who have high testosterone. Yeah, men. That's what gets freaking results. Otherwise, your genetic line will just die with you. That's it. And this is the biggest problem that we're having in this world today. If a man don't have the ability to pass on his genetic line, then what is life all about? What hope is there? Why is he even existing? Why is he prepared to save the world when he has no other genetic line to pass on? It finishes with him. He's just going to be another consumer. Just going to consume, freaking take. So all you're doing is just buying shit to throw away. You come, you consume, and you leave. That's a parasite. So guys, listen. Not only can you book a session with me, you can also join the membership system. We have an awesome membership site that's growing daily. Like-minded people from around the world are coming to one space, one spot where we can communicate, share ideas. People who are thinking like me, people who understand. Okay, so get on there. It's free. Here's a link to join, or you can go to the description of this video and you will always find it there. And last but not least, hey, I have created content creating, easy to understand, AI-based freaking system to help you write books, write courses, write lead magnets, do anything that you want. I'm almost finished it. If you want to get in on this, it's going to be easily accessible to all of you. Okay? That means I am not going to kill you guys with prices. I just want you guys to be able to build residual income as you get older. So this is something that you should definitely look at starting. Getting the knowledge that you have acquired over the decades and put it out digitally. Whether it's books, courses, social media, YouTube, doesn't matter what it is. So listen, my friends, that's the public service announcements. Let's get into the other part of this video. So I just told you that this young man needs some help. He needs physical help. He needs some work. But more importantly, he needs to get in the gym. And here's the reason why. And I'm not going to waffle on. I'm going to make this lady, this professional, tell you why it's important. And this one comes from Diary of a CEO.
Bad boys. They seem to get a lot of the sort of sexual attention, right? What is that about?
But that's like despite the fact that they're bad boys. I mean, so it depends on how we're defining bad boys. Okay,
so arrogant, little bit.
Yeah. So a lot of those are cues related to testosterone, right? So having, being risk tolerant, so being willing to do things that are really risky, and being a little bit arrogant because you're always going to succeed. I mean, those are cues related to status and related to sometimes testosterone levels, right? And so we know that women like both of these things in their partners. And so because of that, those men will tend to do pretty well on the mating market. for men who, don't have those qualities, so men who are not, risk seeking and are not arrogant, that's not necessarily going to not do them favors unless that also is, an indicator that they have other qualities that aren't working for them. You can have somebody who's very successful, right, and has high testosterone, who's not a jerk, right? And that guy will do pretty well.
Why would you tell your son to go to the gym?
I would tell my son to go to the gym because it's like one way that you can naturally increase your testosterone levels is by building muscle. And also another thing that does is that muscle mass is related to reductions in anxiety. And the reason for this is because if you're a big dude, it means that you're going to be able to protect yourself. And so your brain makes the adjustment and it makes you more confident and less anxious when you have some muscle mass. And so I would say go and do those things. And then also doing the things that you can to get access to resources and status, right? So,
I'm glad that this is a woman that's explaining it. She's the freaking research professional. She's the one that's gone out there and done it. She's looked at the figures. She's looked at the data. Where men like us, we're telling you it simply because we've seen it happen in life. We see it happen every day. Testosterone is essential, gentlemen. It's essential. Women can smell the femininity on you. They can smell it. Like she said, no testosterone, anxiety. You don't have the quality. So even though the woman can't explain it because they don't feel it with you. You'll see it on some of these pop the balloon shows, man. The women will walk across a man and they'll just like, no. The men that they can smell the masculinity on, that's different, man. Those men, they respond to it differently. And this is what you guys have to understand. It's vital that you get in the gym, not running, not rowing, lifting weights. It is essential. The reason why you have to lift weights is because it's the only thing that forces the body to produce testosterone. Lifting heavy objects forces the muscle to break down. And in order for the muscle to regrow, it has to produce a growth hormone. That growth hormone is called testosterone. Rowing does not require excessive amount of resistance enough for the muscle to break down, to regrow. You get it? That is why weight training is essential. Man, when I come out of the gym after doing some heavy deadlifts, some heavy squats, leg press, some really heavy compound exercises, man, I'm horny as hell. Wifey's in trouble when I get home. Yeah. And I'm 58. My testosterone level is incredibly high for my age. I get mine checked every 6 months. I only do that because I'm constantly monitoring my prostate. That's another subject that we need to discuss. So I want you guys to understand the importance of weight training. I want you all to understand the significant connection between you not getting laid, you not feeling sexual, you maybe ED, gaining excessive amount of body fat. There's so many things that are connected to testosterone levels. Men are not designed to sit on their asses. That's why boys don't do that well in school, because they're sitting on their asses. If schools were to have more physical activity where boys can learn while they're moving, they would do incredibly well. Actually, I was watching this program about Japanese students who actually pace around while they were reciting information, because the movement of the body plus the reading absorbs the information, and the brain connection, the memory connections, they are much more solid amongst boys.
We're going to focus around our multiplications tables today. The first energizer is going to be our jogging on the spot, so it's a nice high-paced run. It's going to be to our 3 times tables. Are you ready? In position, and go.
3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30, 33, 36.
Excellent work. Let's change the pace for the next one. I'm going to get you to spread out a little bit. So those people on the inside take a small step in. Those people on the outside take a small step out. We're going to do our 7 times tables. We're going to put a few arms in this time while we do our star jumps. Ready for our star jumps? 7 times tables, go.
7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 42, 49, 56, 63, 70, 77, 84.
And these are facts, man. All right, let's listen to what else she has to say.
Study and work hard. Because ultimately, people who do that tend to do well, and people who do well financially and do well in terms of, ascending the status hierarchy, they tend to also do well in the mating market if they're men.
Have you got a daughter?
I sure do.
Your daughter comes home. Mum, I've tried my best. And no one's interested.
Right. Yeah. No. So for my daughter, then I would say, then you need to wait. Right.
She's right and she's wrong. Meaning, she said, wait. No, don't freaking wait. Do not wait. Time is not a woman's friend at all. So I think that was a slip of the tongue that she just made. But she corrected herself when she said she's probably in the wrong mating pool. That means that either the daughter is not accepting offers from the men that she wants. Like most women, they think that they're better than the men around them. So the only way to test that theory is if you move in the circles of where the men that you want are residing or in mass. But if the results don't turn out, meaning if those men who you want don't want you, then you should know that you better go back down to the freaking pond that you should be playing in the first place. In other words, women cannot wait. They need to quickly shift while they are at their peak fertility and beauty. Just giving you advice, ladies. You know, when I was first courting my wife, my current wife, 20 years ago, and they were all single. Her and her friends, man, they would go and take golf lessons. This was in the Cayman Islands. Now, I used to play golf, right? Now, she didn't know me, but I remember hanging out with my golf buddies, and I would look over and I would see these girls like all in a cart. None of them can really play golf, but they're out there trying to play golf and making themselves available because they were looking to get back into the freaking clubhouse at the end of the day, having a beer and getting to know men who can afford to play golf. They understood the game very well. They got it. They were out there taking golf lessons because the men they wanted, they know that that's where they were. That's the kind of man you want, the golf playing dudes that got to play $300-400 for green fees with a $25,000 a year freaking membership fee to the club. Yeah, that's where you got to go to meet those type of guys. Clear indication they were hunting. They were dressed well, proper golf outfit, nothing slutty, not looking proper. They understood the game back in the day, man. Nowadays, these women think, I just got to dress slutty. I can be a hoe. Men should take me for what I have. I can pick up a man like this. All right, let's go on. Let's hear what else she says about her daughter.
Yeah, no. So for my daughter, then I would say, then you need to wait, right? You are probably in the wrong mating pool. Would be my advice to her.
Why?
My advice to her, because a few things. So many of the things that women sort of possess that men desire in their choice of partners are things that women don't have that much control over, right? It's like a woman's like youth and reproductive value and these things related to fertility.
You wouldn't tell her to hit the gym?
I mean, I guess I might tell her to hit the gym and probably make her feel better. But I don't think that I would tell her like, you should probably go and get your hair done and, I'm trying to think. Oh, well, go off the birth control pill so that if she was on the birth control pill, but she is not. But I'm just thinking in an abstract way, like what I would tell her, like things that women can do to increase their attractiveness to men. I mean, it's like, okay, go be more beautiful. Like what are you going to say?
It's amazing how she's actually good at understanding men and what makes men tick, but not clear on what she should tell her daughter to attract a man. I'm quite perplexed by that. Here's my advice to you, my dear. Tell your daughter to hit the gym, work out, but make sure she smiles and be nice to all the other fit guys in there. That's a simple, very simple solution. Just make sure she be nice. And even if she don't like some of the guys that hit on her, just be nice, because it's nothing wrong with saying to a guy, yeah, but you're not really my type. There's nothing wrong with that. And men will just say, hey, no worries. And I'm just putting it bluntly, but of course she could put it a lot more eloquently. But the point is, you don't have to be mean to a guy. You can be quite straight up. Yeah, we could be friends, no problem. But I like your friend over there. But if you were nice to the ugly guy or the guy that you weren't that attracted to, he will always refer you to someone else if you were nice to him. So, yeah, hit the gym, but definitely put yourself in a position where you're accessible to the men that you want.
And so, like I said, my real advice, if my daughter said this, I would say you probably need a different pool of mates.
What if she was 35?
If she was 35, good question. So if she was 35, what would I recommend? Is this what I would actually recommend to my daughter? Or are you trying to get at what should a woman do? Because I have two different answers, right? So if a woman is just looking for, if you want me to write a pamphlet called 35-year-old woman, here are the things you need to do to find a partner. I mean, it would have a whole list of unsavory things that, it would be consider Botox. Men are attracted to women who have features related to youth and fertility. Consider having a Brazilian butt lift, because men are also interested in this. Why don't you also consider, spending time on your hair and makeup? But I don't think I would write that book. That's not the advice that I would give.
I don't understand why she finds that so hard to freaking explain to women. Men don't care about the Botox. They don't care about the 10 pounds of makeup that you're going to wear at 35. They don't want a BBL. They want a natural woman. Natural, confident, sweet, kind, appreciative. A woman who understands that, hey, I'm not a 10. I'm not looking for a man who's a 10. I'm just looking for an average guy like I am an average woman. When a woman accepts who she is, there is nothing more attractive than that. That's what she needs to tell these women. You don't have to tell them to go get Botox. No, none of that shit. Yes, that's what men find attractive, but that's what he finds attractive in a young girl. And if he's qualified for a young girl, he will get that young girl. But he don't want, what we call it? Mutton dressed like goat. I can't remember the expression. Meaning an old woman who's trying to look young. Men don't want that shit. It should come standard that she keeps her hair well, puts on enough makeup to enhance her beauty, not to mask who she is, going to the gym, keeping herself fit, being disciplined with her food so that she's not overweight, and she will be a very attractive 35-year-old who is 35. Not a 35-year-old who's so enhanced that she looks like 28, but we know she's 35. You get my point? Men are looking for the mentality of the woman now, how much she's willing to come on his program, how pliable she is. A woman who understands life, because more than likely the man that's going to be attracted to her is going to be around 45, 50. And she has to be very comfortable with that. If he's in his 40s and he wants kids, all of a sudden she's on a desperate timeline. Now they got to rush things. No one wants to rush into a marriage to somebody that they barely know. That's why you never wait that long, man. Remember, urgent and important. If you put something that is important and you put it off until it becomes urgent, then you have a problem. Because then from that comes desperation. I'm desperate to have a kid because I'm running out of time. That means I'm going to make a freaking stupid-ass decision finding the wrong man, not finding the correct mate. Then you're going to have problems later on, a very quick divorce soon after. Whereas, if it is important, never make it become urgent. That means 25, 26, you better start getting serious about a relationship. So by the time you're 30, you're deep into a marriage, slowly getting into your first child by the time you're 30, second one by the time you're 35. And if you want to push it for the third, if you got money, 36, 37. Done. You and your husband living and comfortable in your lifestyle. But putting it off until 35? Hell no. No. Big mistake. Gentlemen, get your shit together. If you're exhibiting feminine traits, if you're not getting results from women, get your testosterone up, okay? That's going to get your attraction level up higher. I want to focus on the men. The women in this case, listen, it's simple for you. You got to accept the fact that as you get older, you're losing your sexual marketplace value. You just have to understand that you're not negotiating from a place of power. But what you want at 40, usually the men don't want a 40-year-old woman. 40-year-old men don't want 40-year-old women. So you're going to be looking at 55, 60-year-old men who are looking at you. Do you want that? No, most women don't. But you don't have many choices. That's the problem. And the longer you wait, next thing you know, you're 46, 47. And then all of a sudden, 65-year-old men, those are the ones that want you. The older you get, the older the men will become for you. All right, my friends, listen, let's have a discussion. Let me know your comments in the comments section. Ladies, I would love to know your feedback for sure. Okay? But gentlemen, heed my advice, please. Okay? So until next time, my friends, remember, whenever in doubt, always, always ask an older man. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.